Good afternoon and welcome to Capital City Underground. I'm Renata Guzman.
And I'm JC John. We have some great stories coming up for you guys in today's show.
Yes, we do, JC. There's a lot going on before fall break here at the university. But before we talk to the reporters in the field and see our musical guests, here's a little wrap-up of what's going on in local and national news.
A former Lincoln Middle School teacher accused of having sex with a 14-year-old student has pleaded guilty. 23-year-old Jackson Hedrick, a teacher at Irving Middle School, pleaded guilty to first-degree sexual assault after exchanging sexually explicit text messages with a 14-year-old girl and engaging in sex acts with her. Hedrick faces anywhere from 1 to 50 years in prison. The FBI says 2 underage victims have been rescued and 3 pimps arrested in the Omaha area as part of a nationwide crackdown on human trafficking. The national sting was conducted in 135 cities, and altogether authorities rescued 149 minors and 153 pimps were arrested. The effort was led by the FBI and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Police arrested 6 people in connection to the death of a 19-year-old man. He died during what a police chief called a spiritual counseling session turned violent in a New York church. The boy's parents are charged with manslaughter, while the other 4, including the dead man's sister, are being charged with assault of him and his 17-year-old brother. Some 65 million retirees on Social Security will not receive a cost of living boost in 2016. It's a first in 5 years. The reason? A decline in inflation caused by falling gas prices. In other words, if the price of goods doesn't increase, Social Security benefits stay flat. Unfortunately, the way the government measures inflation may not accurately reflect how many on Social Security spend. Many seniors drive very few miles per month and spend little on gas. But medical costs, a big ticket item for many retirees, have risen faster than inflation. The typical retiree's benefit is about $1,300 a month.
Now, on a lighter note, Renata, can you believe the changes happening in the union right now?
I know, there's so much going on.
Yes, 2 big changes that we're going to be seeing. Our very own reporter, Connor Dunn, is live to tell us about.
What? Thanks, JC. So Subway Pizza Express and Annie Ann's will be closing this December, and so I spoke with university officials today about what we can expect to take over that spot. Take a look. Subway Pizza Express and Annie Ann's were new, interesting concepts to the Union Food Court when they came in 2014. But since then, the company's sales have dropped by 44% from what they were last year. Company owner Steve Barton says, "We're disappointed that it didn't work out. We thought it would really add something to the food court mix there." There have been mixed reactions to the closure among students, and many have ideas for what they think should be the replacements.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that they're leaving. I think chicken would be a good idea, like Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A would be a good replacement.
With the 2 restaurants closing in December, Union's director Charlie Francis says a request for proposal will be sent to local food vendors. Because the food court has a protected menu, Francis says the new vendors must serve food that differs from Runza, Imperial Palace, and Subway.
But if you charge quality donuts for maybe just even $1 each, $1.25, $1.50 for premium donuts, that's something that I would actually go for.
So enjoy that last slice of pizza and pretzel dog while you can, because come spring semester, those areas will be empty while administration decides what to bring in next.
Connor, a quick question. What about the employees of those 2 restaurants? Will they have to find new jobs?
Now, Barton Development does tell me that they've guaranteed jobs for the people who work at Annie Ann's and Subway Pizza Express, but it's ultimately up to them if they want to stay with the company. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Connor. You may have seen electronic signs flashing around some of Lincoln's busiest streets lately. These are just one way Pulse Point is generating downloads for their smartphone app. The app is designed to improve cardiac arrest survival rates by engaging bystanders to help while simultaneously dispatching medical care. Pulse Point users who have indicated they are trained in CPR can now be notified if someone nearby is having a cardiac emergency. The app also directs citizens to the closest publicly accessible defibrillators.
Take a look at this unusual sight. It appears there's a hole in the sun. The darker images actually make up a coronal hole. That's a region on the sun where the magnetic field is open to interplanetary space, sending material out in a high-speed solar wind stream. And that stream created a geomagnetic storm near Earth that resulted in several nights of auroras. This image was taken by NASA's Solar Dynamic Observatory. And a lot of people know about the archaeological exhibits at Morrill Hall, but not as many know about the planetarium. This whole month, they are hosting laser shows to try and change that. Capital City Underground reporter Joy Carey has more.
If you're looking for something different to do this weekend, consider a laser show like this. The Mueller Planetarium is hosting 2 different laser shows this month. Guests are invited to wear Halloween costumes and sing along to the music.
They're fun. There's nothing more to it than that. Simply, they're just fun. They're great for all ages. Everybody should come see them, whether you're a grandma, grandpa, or you're a 5-year-old that wants to have fun for Halloween.
The planetarium staff is hosting the shows throughout October using rented equipment, trying to get publicity and raise support so they can buy their own laser projector.
It's baby steps is how I kind of look at it. The more we can rent it and prove that the numbers are there and the interest is there and people are coming and want to see more, then the stronger of a case I can make to say we should have our own. It's a great investment.
To get a new laser system would cost at least $40,000. Thompson says the money will probably have to come from donors and the profits from these showings. Right now, he's just happy if the shows break even, but Thompson says they're definitely making an impact.
Last week, on Friday, we had more people in that one night than we had for public attendance the entire month of September. A sold-out show is 77 full seats. That's what I like to see.
With videographer Joey Seach, I'm Joy Carey.
You can learn more about the shows at the planetarium website, www.spacelaser.com.
We'll be right back after this break for some on-the-spot trivia and a look at this weekend's weather forecast.
Donations from our supporters through Campaign for Nebraska enrich the classroom experience, advance research, fuel innovation and economic development, and enhance the campus environment. Campaign for Nebraska and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln thank our donors for gifts that write a story of success for the future.
Well, the speech and debate team is 143 years old. We're the oldest student activity on campus, and we're one of the best.
We work really hard.
And we're the best Big Ten team in the nation.
We've won the Big Ten Tournament Championship 3 years in a row.
And for the past 8 years, we have placed in the top 10 nationally.
We have the best students, the hardest working, the most dedicated. We have the best students here at Nebraska.
Hey guys, it's Drew. We're here inside the Union, and we're here for some on-the-spot trivia to see if these students really did their homework in Geography 101. What state is farthest east in the United States?
Florida? I think it's Maine.
Maine.
Farthest east? Maine, I'm guessing?
How many continents are there in the world?
Continents? 7.
In the entire world? 5? 7. 7, right? Okay.
Thanks, Drew. Now, we did have a little bit of controversy about the first question.
Yes, we did.
Because it has been said that Alaska is both the most eastern and western state in the United States. What do you have to tell us about that?
So we did look it up. There's a couple different things, JC. So people have said it's Hawaii. People say it's Alaska. And people say it's Maine. And Florida, of course, gets thrown there every once in a while, too. But mainly, we looked it up. Alaska is still the most western state.
Right, okay.
But because of the prime meridian, Maine is the most eastern. So we did get that one right. Maine is the most eastern, but Alaska does still remain the most western state in the country.
Okay, so Maine, everyone. It's Maine. There's been a little chill in the air, not just in Maine and Alaska, but all around the United States. I wonder if this time it's here to stay. Let's go to Cody with the weather.
City Underground Weather Team, Cody, Audra, and Jake update Lincoln with your latest weather information. From the storms to the studio, let's take a look at this week's forecast.
For Capital City Underground, I'm Cody Carlin. It was a little bit chilly this morning. You might need a jacket if you're out and about, but once those clouds moved out of the area, it made it warm up nicely. Currently, we are sitting at 70 degrees, partly cloudy. A little bit of chill in the air with that north wind at 15 to 20 miles an hour. However, we're going to see a steep drop off tonight in those temperatures. Low tonight is going to be all the way down to 33 degrees. We could see some areas of frost even, and that has prompted the National Weather Service to issue a frost advisory for Lincoln and even a freeze warning for other parts of southeast Nebraska. Those winds will be sustained out of the north at 15 to 20 miles an hour. We'll see a rebound in temperatures tomorrow, 60 degrees, a little bit cooler than normal for this time of year. 65 is what we see for our high temperature right about now. Sunny and north winds out of 5 to 10 miles an hour, so it won't be too bad with the wind. If you're heading up to Minnesota for this weekend to watch the Nebraska Cornhuskers take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers, it'll be a chilly one up there, especially if you're tailgating at 9 a.m., 38 degrees. Noontime temperature is going to be 45. Kickoff is going to be about 2:30, 51 and sunny. Those winds will be out of the west at 5 miles an hour. And at 6 p.m. when we're all celebrating a Cornhusker win, it'll be 49 degrees and clear. Taking a look at the rest of the week, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride this week. We have high temperatures, 60 on Friday, Saturday 63, and both of those days look to be sunny. However, Sunday it's going to warm back up to 73 degrees. Monday we can see a high of 79. That is also the chance of some wet weather as well begins at the beginning of your work week on Monday, and even Tuesday we even see a chance for some thunderstorms. So even though it's going to be the third week in October, we're still seeing that slight chance for some thunderstorms. Now, I did mention that we have a freeze warning and frost advisory tonight. So here's Jake with a little bit more information on those.
Fall is considered a transition season, and for this reason it can experience both summer and winter-like weather conditions. In particular, this can actually be very stressful for the agricultural community because when there's really cold temperatures, it can lead to it can damage their crops. The National Weather Service, to help combat these issues, they provide two particular products that they forecast for, and this includes the frost advisory and the freeze warning. In terms of the frost advisory, the temperatures are expected to fall between 33 and 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and as such, there's also a chance for frost to develop. In contrast, the freeze warning is much more significant, where temperatures are expected to fall below freezing, which is about 32 degrees Fahrenheit. In terms of in Lincoln, Nebraska, the average first freeze occurs around October 12th, but the earliest actually occurred on September 11th in 1940, and the latest in November 7th, 1956. And since there is a frost advisory in effect for Lincoln tonight and into tomorrow, be sure to bundle up for that. And now back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, guys. The Husker football team is headed to Minnesota this weekend to play the Golden Gophers. Let's see what else is trending in the sports world.
As former NBA star Lamar Odom fights for his life, we are learning more about what led him to being found unconscious at a Nevada brothel. Employees at the brothel told 911 dispatchers that Odom used cocaine and herbal Viagra supplements during his 4-day stay. The brothel's manager says the reality star told her he just wanted to get away.
He did not indicate what he was getting away from, but he was very adamant about no phone calls, don't acknowledge that he was here. He just wanted some rest and relaxation.
Odom's children from a previous relationship, as well as his estranged wife, Khloe Kardashian, are reportedly at his bedside. Although Odom and Kardashian signed papers this year, the divorce has not been finalized. As a result, sources say Kardashian will legally make medical decisions for the former LA Lakers star.
The Toronto Blue Jays will face off against the Kansas City Royals on Friday in the first American League Championship game. On Saturday, the Chicago Cubs will play either the Los Angeles Dodgers or New York Mets, a game that will be decided on tonight when those two face off for a spot in the National League Championship Series. The teams fighting for a spot in the World Series this year are far from those predicted to make an appearance before the start of this MLB season by major sport outlets. Both ESPN and Sports Illustrated picked the Washington Nationals to win the World Series, while SB Nations predicted a face-off between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Los Angeles Angels.
Next up is our Spotlight story. Our reporter Jay Tan takes a look at a topic that might get your gears turning.
Bicycles. Having one is handy as it's faster than walking and cheaper than driving. You don't have to worry about parking spots either. However, bikes are always a tempting target to thieves.
I walked out one morning and I looked down and no more bike. I walked back inside. I saw that my keys were still there for my bike lock. I contacted my roommates immediately and none of them had seen my bike.
Bike thefts are particularly common on university campuses. With students using bikes to go to and from classes, there's a bike on almost every corner. Statistics show that there were close to 100 reported cases of bike thefts per year, though the number of cases have been decreasing thanks to the efforts of UNLPD.
Here at the police department, we try to educate students on type of locks to have, register your bike with us, and then we also have a bait bike program here on campus where we have a bike that's outfitted with GPS, and so we can track the bike, so if someone takes it, we can follow it and then catch the person responsible.
Occasionally, thieves aren't able to get away with the bike itself, so they go after other things instead, sometimes more than once.
When I actually had to use my bike at night, I realized that my lights were stolen. I kept my bike at the same place and I just went into the building for like a couple of hours. When I came back out, my new lights were stolen again.
So what can you do to better protect your bike?
If you're going to invest in a bike, invest in a nice lock too to keep it. The U-bolts are pretty much the best thing out there. It's a hard metal bar that can keep it secured, and then lock it up properly. If you buy the real thin cable locks that have the little turn dial spindles, you put enough force on those and they just break.
For more information on protecting your bike, visit police.unl.edu. Reporting for Capital City Underground, I'm Jay Tan.
Well, we're here with Jay now live in the studio. And what else did you take away from this, Jay?
Well, I had a talk with Officer Pemberton after the interview, and he said that most bike thefts are more likely to occur during the start of the semester and towards the end of the semester. He also did say that most bike thefts happen because of the bike being convenient to steal, such as when a student passes by and decides he doesn't want to walk to class, and he sees a bike, and then he's just like, oh, I'll take this bike. He takes it, he uses it for a bit. When he's done with it, he just discards it, and then he doesn't have to take responsibility for it, and he goes and steals another bike when he wants to.
Okay, now with colder weather months coming up, do you think we'll see a decrease in bike theft?
Not necessarily. It depends. Most of the reason that people steal bikes during the start and beginning of the beginning and the end of the semester is the thieves know that's when most people leave their bikes unattended and they won't pay attention to their bikes.
Great, thanks so much. Back to you, Renata.
Thanks, Jay, for all the information on bike safety. You can visit police.unl.edu for any other information you may need. We'll be right back with the cultural segment of our show right after this.
90.3 KRNU is the University of Nebraska's own radio station located in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Since 1970, KRNU has been providing Lincoln with new indie music, local artist promotions, and the long support of local businesses. This year, KRNU is celebrating its 45th anniversary and plans to be around for at least another 45. Tune your FM dial to 90.3 anytime, or hear us live online streaming at krnu.unl.edu.
I always knew I was going to study fashion design in college, and I kind of got addicted to the energy.
Just to be able to see all the hard work the students have put into it and how talented they are.
The most innovative designers are students. And I get really excited knowing that kids are still into it. There's just no other industry like it.
I'm Prince Mukamara, and I'm urging you to go to collegeboundnebraska.com to see if you qualify.
This month, the Ross is showing a documentary called He Named Me Malala. The movie is about young activist Malala Yousafzai fighting for women education rights in Pakistan and around the world. She became the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner for her dedication to the cause. Our reporter Bailey Neal had a chance to sit down with UNL student Ayat Uribi to talk about the movie and the stigma that surrounds Islamic culture and women's rights.
There is a moment when you have to choose whether to be silent or to stand up.
Tonight, Malala remains in intensive care.
She was shot in the head for daring to suggest girls should go to school.
She stood up for females getting an education in that part of the world where it's a very patriarchal society where they don't believe in educating women. It's a very backward society. I mean, it is, a war-torn place. And she became famous because she was standing up for feminism, she was standing up for women's rights when literally her whole world was against her. So she's definitely one of my heroes.
So as, you're an American obviously,
yeah.
But you're a Muslim. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the media kind of unfairly portrays, Islam as a culture that doesn't want women to get educated?
Some females aren't, like for instance in Malala's case, like it's controlled by the Taliban, which is an extremist, not Muslim group. But for instance, where I'm from, like all my aunts are educated. Lots of women go to college. It's a mixed college. I would say there are definitely things that do hold females back from getting an education. Like they're not as common to get an education as like males are. But I do think the media doesn't give the Middle East as much credit as it has for educating females, because there's a lot of Muslim feminists. There's a lot of Arab feminists. There's a lot of like Middle Easterners that aren't like Muslim that are feminists. Like we all know that there's an issue and we're all trying to change it.
A big thanks to our special guest, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Bailey. Be sure to catch the movie starting now until October 22nd at the Ross.
Now let's go back to the studio where reporter Nick Hermson has today's musical spotlight.
And welcome to the Capital City Underground Music Studio. Today, we were able to find two amazing local musicians, Ponche, who plays the saxophone and the clarinet, as well as the piano, and Levi, who plays the blues guitar. Now, if you like these guys' music as much as I know I will, you'll tune in here every week. Enjoy.
Every time I see you walking away, memories start to fill my mind again. I remember the day that you told me you loved me, and I remember the time you said you'd never ever leave. Crawling back to me with tears in your eyes, saying, this time I'm not leaving you. This time, whoa, I'm not leaving you. This time, I'm not leaving you. This time, whoa. You're trying to tell me that you're not the same. Did you think that I'd believe you, girl? I know the whole damn truth, and there's nothing new. This time seen you walk away. I seen you run on back on home. Well, your tears don't mean a thing to me, and I hate to hear you say this time I'm not leaving you.
You're two of the nicest guys I think we could ever work with.
I completely agree. Totally kind, awesome people. And I can't believe it was their first time playing together.
I know. I honestly couldn't believe it. Again, they had perfect harmony together, and we were so lucky that we were able to have them in the studio. But I have to say, the fog in that video, it just looked so great. I don't know if you guys realized
Renata
that.
here was in charge of fog, and she did an amazing job.
So thanks for watching us today, and we'll see you back here next week, same time, same place.
Have a great evening. Wonderful fog.
I thought it